Hello, my name is Maggie and I've had a loft conversion done by City Lofts and some various renovation work to the downstairs part of the flat. Well, I did a basic Google search and I looked for loft conversion companies, selected about three or four, contacted them, asked them to come in for chats and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually I narrowed it down to two, and then I narrowed it down to one, which was City Lofts. The differences were basically, for me, its personality. And even though I had never met you guys before, I felt that when I met City Lofts, I felt kind of, getting that vibe that these guys are going to work with you. They're going to work with you if you have a little bit of change. They're not going to go off and huff and puff and then, asking for like more money because you've changed a socket or whatever. You know what I mean? It was just one of those. I just got a really good vibe off it. And then also, I thought, it wasn't the cheapest quote, but for me, I felt like it was the most inclusive quote. It included a lot of stuff in it. I didn't feel like I was going to get any surprises, which I didn't at the end. When I narrowed it down to the two, one of them came with pretty much a little pamphlet. But you guys came, like you said, with a lot more information, a lot more sort of pictures. The website was more complete as well, so you can go on and see interviews like this of previous builds, which is actually really quite helpful, for someone who's, when you're spending a lot of money on something, you want the reassurance of a previous customer But that video thing quite helps, a lot, I think. So, it felt more like a complete service, you know what I mean? It's like when you go down to Savile Row and have a suit made, it felt more custom made, you know what I mean? I don't know, for some reason, it sounds weird, but when you go and get suited up for a suit, you know what I mean? It's got that custom kind of thing, and it kind of felt a little bit like that service, and I don't know, that's how it felt like to me, and I think that's quite kind of got me into, going with City Lofts pretty much. Well, I've seen the floor quite a few times, and there's they have a huge installation of it at the Saatchi Gallery. That's the first time I saw it, and I thought, wow, that's a really nice floor. You know what I mean? It's just at that point I didn't know what it was. I just thought, it's a beautiful floor. And I just thought, how do they maintain this in a massive gallery? People, treading around, they don't even take their shoes off. I mean, they're just, how do they, I don't know, anyway, so, but then, like, years later, I went back to it and I thought, oh, I really like that floor. And then when the idea came to do the loft conversion, I just thought, I have to put it in the loft. And I thought, well, why just the loft? Because it's going to look silly. You've got a house that's been built in the early 1900s, it's got pine floors, and not really anything design element-wise, and I thought, no, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it in the whole entire flat, because there's something about the seamless flow of entering, coming up the stairs, being on that floor, and then going to the rest of the flat. What's the point of just doing the loft? I was thinking, In my discussions with City Lofts when I was doing it, I said, we need to do this floor, and I kept on banging on about it, and I kind of cajoled them into doing it. Because they kind of really want to do lofts, but they're like, oh, I don't know. But anyway, I think they fell in love with the floor just as much as I did, really. So I think they wanted to actually see it, put in place and making it look really good. And they did a great job putting it in. I mean, mind you, it comes with a stack of instructions when you get it from Copenhagen, when you get it from Denmark. But yeah, no, I just thought, I always think that there's one element in whenever you do a renovation job or any kind of build, there should be an element in the flat that you've actually put loads of money into it, and it actually stands out, so that people come in and go, wow, I love your floor, or wow, I love something, whatever, I love that painting, whatever it is. Something that draws you into a feature that you go, that's amazing. And I mean, the lovely thing about a floor is that you have it throughout the entire flat, and it's a living thing. Wood is a living item. It's very tactile. It's it ticks all the nature boxes, and it's done by recyclable forests, all that kind of stuff. So it feels nice having a lovely floor. You know what I mean? And maintenance is not that bad. I thought it would be a nightmare, but it's actually not bad. If they can deal with it at the Saatchi Gallery, they can deal with a couple of people walking around all day. I would definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. The floor, the handrails, and the bathroom upstairs.